Welcome to Emperor Estates. In this video, we begin Module 3 Budget and Finances. Let's explore how community association managers create, manage, and amend association budgets. This module will teach you how to prepare community association budgets and handle financial procedures. Let's dive in. What is a budget? A budget is an estimate of the operational expenses for the upcoming year. It's based on actual expenses from previous years, adjusted up or down for the current year. It gives owners a preview of what the association expects to spend. It is the basis for calculating each owner's financial contribution to keep the community running. Budget sections. Association budgets typically have two main categories: operating expenses, covering day-to-day activities, and reserve expenses, funding major future repairs and replacements. Operating budget, also called line items. The operating budget includes daily costs like maintenance, insurance, security, administration, and repairs. It also includes utilities, management fees, and bad debt allowances. Cable TV or master antenna systems may also be part of this if allowed by the governing documents. If any limited common elements are funded by only certain units, a separate schedule must be provided. Reserve budget reserve funds are restricted for specific major projects. These might include roof replacements, pavement resurfacing, painting, or elevator upgrades. We'll cover more on reserves in Lesson 3.2, Funding the Budget. When the board approves the budget, it also sets the assessment amount for each unit. Assessments are typically collected monthly or quarterly. Florida statutes require assessments to be collected at least quarterly. The governing documents determine how assessments are allocated. Once expenses and income are calculated, any shortfall is covered by assessments. Each condominium must maintain separate budgets and books. Expenses must be listed by classification monthly and annually. Allocation methods. Condominiums created after April 1, 1992 must allocate expenses either by unit square footage or equally across units. Older condominiums may use a hybrid of both. Adopting the budget. Most associations authorize the board of directors to adopt the budget. All owners must receive at least 14 days' notice before the budget meeting. Notice must be mailed or hand-delivered with a receipt. The proposed budget must be included with the notice. A quorum is required, and a simple majority of the board can approve it. Budget format. Budgets should clearly outline the dates the budget covers. Total projected income. Total expected expenses, reserve contributions, adjustments for non-cash items, reserve calculations and explanations. Budgets must show the total assessment per unit. Multi-phased communities. If your community has multiple condominiums or a master association, each phase must have its own separate budget. Deadline for budget adoption for condominiums and cooperatives. A proposed annual budget must be adopted no later than 14 days before the fiscal year starts. If the board fails to adopt a new one, the previous year's budget continues until they do. Reserve requirements for condominiums. A separate reserve budget must be created for items costing more than $10,000, roofing, paving, painting, or any other major item the board decides is needed. Homeowners associations, HOAs. HOAs are not required to have reserves, unless the developer initially set them up, or the members vote to create them. If they don't have reserves, they must include this statement in their financial report. The budget of the association does not provide for reserve accounts. Owners may elect to provide for reserve accounts pursuant to Florida Statute 720.3036. Amending the budget. If the budget exceeds 115% of last year's assessments, 10% of the voting members can petition for reconsideration. The board must call a special meeting within 60 days. At least 14 days' notice must be given. A quorum must be present, and a majority must vote to approve the revised budget. If not, the original budget stays in place. Surplus, deficit, and variance. When income exceeds expenses, the extra is called common surplus. Surplus can reduce next year's assessments or be added to reserves. If expenses exceed income, it's called a deficit or operating loss. The difference between budgeted and actual amounts is called variance. Common income sources. Regular assessments. Special assessments. Late fees. Interest income. Vending or rentals. Common expense categories. administration, management fees, maintenance, utilities, insurance, taxes, security, bad debt, fees to the State Division, operating capital, reserve contributions. Congratulations! You've completed lessons 3.0 and 3.1 on budget and financial procedures. You now understand how KAMs build, fund, and adopt budgets and why they're so vital. Stay tuned for lesson 3.2, Budget for Reserves, where we'll dive deeper into long-term financial planning. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Emperor Estates for more insights into Florida KAM training. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Emperor University at Emperor, Artificial Intelligence at Emperor Science and Fiction at Emperor Nature, Emperor Aviation, Emperor Entertainment, Emperor Music.